I'm thinking we're going to about 11:30.
Yeah, just 30 minutes. I gotta go to. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. Yes, it's a lunch. Yes, we are at the lunch hour, so you definitely want to go ahead and share the text, the share the feed, do a watch party, let everybody know we live and in color. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get on mine and share mine to different groups and stuff because when these women right here link up, it is a whole movie, okay? They know it's something special when you just got this going on at 12 o'clock noon. You like, hold on, what they do? I want to know. Can I be a part of this right here? Like that's already the vibes, the glowing skin, the beautiful smiles, the airy, take me to the top, baby, overviewing the city's look. So y'all know y'all need to go ahead and just share this right now. Do a watch party. I'm gonna do some sharing myself on my own thing. So by the way, guys, my name is Dr. China Bethany. I know that so many people connect that may have not really known how they stumbled across my page. And so I'm in the beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm just excited for you to connect and get some dialogue in here that can really change your life. We are serious about the mission that we're on. We've been on a mission for quite some time. We're not new to this. We're true to this. We got the receipts to prove it. And we are inviting you into our space. We're inviting you into a wealth conversation that may or may not be something that you're familiar with. Maybe it is, maybe it's not something that you're familiar with. So I encourage you to listen with your spiritual ears today, because you're going to need to hear something that you would not have ordinarily recognized to know that you need to move into this before the end of the call. So I want to just go around and let you guys have an opportunity to meet some of my wealth friends, some of my rich girlfriends, okay? Yes, baby. With the receipts to prove it, okay? Rich in spirit, okay? Rich in relationship, okay? Rich in resources, rich in finances, okay? Just rich all the way around. And I'm excited that you guys are here. So continue to share the feed. Let's get the numbers over 100. And so we got my sister here, Dr. Jewel Tankard. Okay.
Hey, what's up, beautiful?
Yes, drop some threes in the chat for Dr. Jewel real quick. This woman is one of the best people that I know and so good at understanding wealth cycles and business trends. She's a woman that never gets comfortable at what other people will perceive to be the top, because she knows that there's levels to this. And the way that she handles she's always getting more capacity for where she's going. And so I totally just admire you, sis, for being a woman of great valor, integrity, a woman that's just on a mission, that have been consistent in your message throughout the whole entire time that I've known you. You've been a wealth girl. You've been about that money, but you also been about God's people, and you've never had to compromise. So I appreciate you being the example and leading for real from the front. So I just want to have a chance to connect with you a little bit. What's up, Dr. Jewel?
Baby, let me tell you something. Y'all, these are two of my faves right here. I absolutely love me some China and some Wanda. They are both some straight girl bosses, sharks, and at the same time love God, love their husbands, love people, and that's just amazing. By the way, guys, I have my journal right here because anytime I'm sitting with my girlfriends who are supernatural thinkers and innovators and advancers, I'm capturing ideas and thoughts. That's one of the things that I want to encourage everybody to do. Like, I believe when we get up in the morning, God floods our heart with all kinds of ideas and all kinds of dreams, but we have to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position to capture those things so that we can walk those things out. One of the things that happened, and I have to talk to y'all about this more, but my sister went to Boston, Massachusetts about a month ago, and she called me screaming, China, you were at the house. That's right. She called me screaming. She did a tour, Wanda, in Boston, Massachusetts with these at the Vanderbilt estate, Rockefeller's estate. And she walked through. It takes hours to walk through. It totally shifted her mindset. She said, sis, listen, we when I tell you, we are destined for so much more than what we've even walked in. And China was there, and I'm telling you, she was just pouring out. She was almost in tears. So then I'm talking to my other wealth friend, Dr. Stacia Pierce, last night. She said, girl, guess where I'm at? I said, where you at, girl? She said, I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm about to tour. Girl, stop it. How it is such a summonings of giants. Like giants are being summoned right now, saying, come together. partner with other giants and partner with this giant, financial giant that we've been so blessed to be a part of. I Am Master Academy, right? Like at the end of the day, I know that God positioned us for such a time as this. And you know, there are going to be people that come and try to duplicate. But see, one thing about wealth is that you want it to actually get in you. You don't want to just be running here and there. You want to actually connect. You want to actually become planet. You actually, there's something about being loyal and there's something about being faithful to where you know God has planted you. That's where all of the increase is going to come from. The overflow is going to come from. So anyway, I just said that to say, child, I'm going to Boston. I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Plan that trip. We got to plan that trip. I mean, because I know that Janetta was talking about next year, and we both was like, nah, we need that in a 2020 flow right there. I knew when they broke it. First of all, let's bring Wanda on into this. So first of all, we got our money friend on the line. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, this woman right here, Wanda Webb. I remember the first time I saw Wanda Webb on a live. I believe Wanda was doing an event maybe in Dallas, somewhere in Texas. And when I saw this woman speak with so much boldness and so much authority, you just know when you got one. You just know when you're inside of them. You just know when they can't hide it, even if they tried it, type of a situation. Wanda Webb, I'm talking about, I said, Jewel, who is that? You hear what I'm saying? So I'm just honored. This woman is absolutely just amazing at what she does as being a mom and a wife. I mean, I don't even know how she be juggling that mug. She be giving me like
cry, trying to making me cry.
the mommy situation. I'd be like, Hunty, to be going that hard in the paint and not missing a beat and still being, you know, with the family situation like that. So I'm going to introduce to everybody Miss Wanda Webb, C25 out the
Great morning. Man, being with you guys, we always have the best conversations. We were actually just like, the reason that we're doing this live right now, besides the fact that this is part of what we do, is bringing wealth conversations to the average man and woman. We were on a call the other night and we were really like, this was a good call. This was a serious call. This was a level 1%. And it was crazy because Dr. Jewel, you just said something. You said being the person that plans the success. And this morning we did a morning mentorship call with our crew, and we've been going through a book called Escape by Anik Singhal. And today's chapter was being the entrepreneur that takes the calculated risk. We hear so much about the entrepreneur that takes the risk. The entrepreneur takes the risk. The entrepreneur takes the risk. Entrepreneurs take risks. No, they don't. Entrepreneurs take calculated risk. There's a difference. And part of the reason we were having such an in-depth conversation is because we see people around us that we've loved, coached, been in our sacred space. They forgot the calculated part. Taking risks, but they forgot the calculated part.
It's good.
And we have to be careful because if you guys haven't seen in the year 2020, there's a whole lot out there under the guise of mystique. If you don't know about Bitcoin, you should not be sending people Bitcoin, okay? If you don't know about Forex, you should not just be signing up for anything that claims it can teach you Forex. You have to have calculated decisions. And one of the things that we've seen, and it's been unfortunate, is wise men and wise women that have been fooled and they forgot the calculated part. And it's crazy because I was talking about this, Jewel was talking about this, China was talking about this, and we're like, what is it in this season? You know, when we are in a winning season, guys, this is just the truth. When we're in a winning season, separation will happen. And it's just unfortunate when the separation happens because of a lack of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's something we don't even have to experience. I can use Dr. Jewel's wisdom. Hey, Dr. Jewel, what do you think about this? I can use Dr. China's wisdom. Dr. China, what do you feel about this? I don't have to do that on my own, but for some reason, we do see a lot of people in this season that maybe they're new to winning. And they don't know how to behave when they're winning.
Hold up, we got to go deep on this. Hold on. Because you know what, Wanda? There are a lot of people that are very, very new to what we do. How long have you been in the industry, Wanda?
It'll be It'll be 8 years at the end of this year. 8 years. So 7.5, 7, 3, 4 years, 8 years.
So you done been through some things, you done seen some cycles, you understand it more of a depth, and your vision is so big that you can't be affording to mess up your name and reputation, let alone taking uncalculated risks or just I just think it's emotional moves that cause your whole family, your reputation, and what you built to crumble. How long you been in doctor industry? As a
13 years.
13 years. So you talking about people with documentation. You talking about people who, there's a reason that we don't move the way certain people move. And I love what you said, Wanda, but I believe what it requires is humility, and it requires you to have your ego in check. And if you don't have humility, then you can't submit to someone who's been in the industry. Julie's been in the industry 4 years longer than I've been in the industry. So I don't care that it's 4 years longer. She has 4 more years of experience where somebody else haven't even been in 4 years yet that may not be willing to submit to what they don't know. And so they don't even realize that a lot of times you've been prayed on and not prayed for. So talk about the win. You said people don't even know when they win it because they ain't never experienced the win yet. They don't even know what it looked like. Go ahead, Wanda, hit on that.
Listen, I know people are listening right now and they're like, okay, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Here's what we're talking about. Whew. Oh, I already know where to start, Dr. China, because this can go all the way in.
Well, we know how Wanda do. We know Wanda always unfiltered. Y'all put wins in the chat. If you ready to win in this season, drop the word WIN in the chat. If you ready to win in this season, drop it in the chat because Wanda about to let loose on y'all. I could just feel it in my shot now. You got
out of like, let's get logical. I like to get the logic out. Then I get to then let's get a little biblical. Let's get a little spiritual. Logically, guys. Logically. What I read today in this book, he's talking about taking the calculated risk. And a lot of times we glorify the abstract parts of being an entrepreneur. I'm a manifest it. I'm a believe it. I'm a believe for it. Oh, my story is going to be so big. And yes, that's part of it. But the other side of it, because if you want to stay in the abstract world, you're going to get abstract results. You got to get that concrete part. And the concrete part is taking calculated risk, being wise in your decision making, and understanding why or why not to do something. We've got to have that logical side. I did not, when I came into this company, when I came into IM, I talked to people that that were not connected to my money that could give me sound advice. I talked to my pastor. Okay. I talked to my therapist, and I talked to David Iminitier. Actually, I didn't even know him, y'all. I literally knew a friend who knew him. And I said, I would like to talk to him and get him on the phone. I feel like my spirit will let me know if I'm getting the truth. So I submitted myself to different opinions, and I submitted myself to some counsel. Okay. So that's the first thing. I was talking to a lady that, we were going back and forth, and I said, I appreciate your diligence and your due diligence, but I really feel like you want to do this. What's the holdup? And she said, I got to be honest with you. My husband's he's usually very supportive, but he's not supportive right now because last month I sent someone $3,000 via Bitcoin on Instagram, and I didn't get my money back. They lied to me. They told me they were going to double my money. And that didn't happen. And I'm thinking, hold up, we are bright, we are educated, we are resourceful, and we sent someone unrefundable funds on Instagram. And I'm thinking, you're smarter than this. You're smarter than this. So what is it? What is it that has us do silly things outside of our wisdom when we know what it is? It's greed.
Oh.
And no one wants to say that. Nobody wants to say that. But you know what? It's not a shame thing, because all of us are human. We all have that in us. We have to check it all the time. But it's greed. I had a gentleman I have an amazing relationship with. This is so unique. I love him to death. My family loves his family. And about a month and a half, 2 months ago, he said, Wanda, I'm going to make a decision to pivot and to do something completely different. And I said, okay. What's that look like? Well, and I can't even really remember the explanation. I just remember some of the words. Easier, cheaper, lock my spot. All that is language. Let me tell you what that is, y'all. That's language. That's greed. Anything. Listen, ain't it funny that we will pick a business in a way, in a fashion that we would never pick a life partner, a spouse. Right? You would never say, "Oh, Wanda, but she's easier. She's cheaper. I like it." Oh, girl, he's easier. He's cheaper. I like it. You would never say, "Oh, but she don't even need to get her nails done. She lets her eyebrow connect. I like it." You would never say that. But then when it comes to business, we're like, "Oh, it's easier. It's faster. It's cheaper. I don't really got to do that much. I locked my spot."
Here's the thing. I just want to tap in, and I don't lose your thoughts, because we're gonna go around this mug.
Right,
but here's the thing about it too. There are some people, and this is just, I think this is network marketing right now, because I think what happens is a person comes in to this industry that, for number one, they was never educated about. And we all probably, I know I started off thinking it was the same thing most people thought it is now, or thought it was one of those things. So we kind of came in from a perspective that was already kind of, what I'm saying? Now we made it, but we all came in from a school of thought that taught us not to appreciate it, for number one. But number two, then when I came in being self-employed and not maximizing the whole franchise opportunity in this space, right? And so here's the reality of it. There are people who will come into this space and do less and get less results. And then there are people that are going to another space and do more and say, "Well, see, this is working for me." No, baby, it's working because you're working. So there's laws to this. If you work, it's going to work. So if you chose not to work here because you believe, and I always tell people, you receive what you believe, whether it's true or not. Your words are more powerful than you could ever even imagine, right? Faith comes by hearing and hearing, right? So if you still spewing out of your mouth that people don't have money, meanwhile, the malls are packed, everybody is not in the mall stealing. That means somebody in the mall spending money. But because you don't believe the value, you personally don't believe that you bring that level of value to the marketplace, you continue to devalue yourself. Mm-hmm. And so now when you do more and you get more, you think the other situation is better. So let's bring Dr. Jewel in, because let's talk about business cycles, business trends, and kind of our experience, Jewel, over the last 4.5 years. In this space that has we created the phenomenon. Let's be clear. I'm honored that God chose us to pioneer something. I'm happy that people know more about our world of Forex. I am really happy, but I want more than anything. This is me. I want more than anything when the next 5 to 10 years come, that our community does not miss this because they were fooled, because they thought something was cheaper and easier, and they didn't realize that there was a part of $1 trillion industry that they had been locked out of. So come on, Dr. Jewel, because we got to make sure that we don't get left behind because of the trickery that comes in, and not about an individual person, but about more minimizing the big blessing that it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like right now, and that was so good. Everything that both of you are saying is so good. And, I love it. And what people have to realize is that, first of all, and I believe from a spiritual standpoint, I always look for the witness. I always look for the witness in my heart. And then once there's a witness, because blessed doesn't mean perfect, right? And sometimes people are looking for, when they say, "Oh, I'm going to be blessed, they're looking for perfection, but that's not true. Your family can be blessed, but it's not perfect. Your marriage is blessed, but it doesn't mean it's perfect, right? So what you have to do is realize when God's hand is on something. I mean, we've been here in China, like you said, for the last 4.5 years, and Wanda, you now for the last couple years, and the growth and the development and the evolving and learning all of the intricate details. I mean, we're literally category creators, right? Christopher Terry, the CEO, was brilliant in that he was able to put together this genius team in legal, in compliance, in dealing with the SEC, and expanding servers and all of the technical, integral details, which is why we've seen a lot of companies come and go, because when they start to expand, they don't have the capital that's needed to go the long haul. You have to look at the end of the day, you have to look at price point. If I go and I spend this price point, it's just like I had AirPods that were aftermarket. And guess what? They kept clicking on and off. So somebody had given them to me, and I was like, I called them. I said, these are aftermarket, aren't they? Because they looked really good, right? They fit in my ear the same. They look the same if you put them together. But when I got into actually the use of it, it was clear that the quality of that product was not really Apple. Apple has been battle tested. Apple has created a brand, just as IM has, who says we're solid. We're here forever. So always know you're going to get what you pay for. My property manager, who has been amazing to me, he was intricate in helping me build a 7-figure real estate portfolio, recently had to quit because he moved. It was suddenly. Oh. And I was like, oh my gosh, who's going to manage my properties? And I was thinking, maybe I need to go to Detroit and all that. And I said, okay, let me pick up the phone and make some calls. And I got on the phone, and this lady, she costs more. She runs a company. She costs more, but now I'm getting more, even more in the residual side. I no longer am going to have to talk to contractors, because I was still having to help him manage contractors. He was being paid less, but it took more of my time. She's doing a profit and loss statement on each property. This woman has a real property management company that I'm going to be paying a lot more for. But on the flip side, my quality of life is going to free me up. So now I can create additional income. And that's what we have with IM Master Academy. You guys are going to hear about, this is cheaper over here or that's cheaper over there. But it's like Wanda said, cheaper and easier does not actually equate to more wealth. As a matter of fact, it's probably not going to be sustainable. Probably not, because we're hating. It's just the law of profit and loss. If you're not bringing it in, you can't pay it out.
So Wanda, you're muted.
I was just making sure that my ad libs and clapping were not getting in the way of her speaking. It's so true. And the truth is, guys, here's what it comes down to. Don't say you're watching this. Don't even take our word for it. Gauge yourself. Where's your wisdom at? Ask yourself, where's my wisdom at? What level is my wisdom at? While you're praying for the money and the opportunity and, the growth, don't forget to pray for that wisdom part too, because it would just be a shame for you to get a taste of it and not have the wisdom. Here's what I'm seeing people do. Here's what happens. When I said people don't know how to win, people don't know how to behave when they're winning. What I mean is they've not yet addressed the seed that lives in them, titled self-sabotage. Okay? Self-sabotage. We all have it in us. We all do it. There's an element of us that is scared of news, scared of increase, scared of the demand that will be placed on us when we elevate. And so if we don't address the poverty mindset, the self-sabotage mindset, it'll come out later. And what happens is, and this is what just me, this is what I see, people get to, they never made no residual income before. They've never had an investment that yielded actual results. So they start trading, they make a couple $100, they feel good. Now they're talking to people. They make a couple $1,000 in residual. Oh, they're feeling good. And then this is where you learn who they are, right? They say, well, I made $500 trading. I'm the man. I'm the woman. I should start a Telegram. I should start my own thing. I bet you people will pay me something every month to throw a trade or two. You know what? I made a couple $1,000s of residual income, Nobody knows that Dr. China gave me half that team, but I made a couple $1,000s in residual income. And now I'm feeling good, and I'm going to go do this somewhere else. Dr. Jules said something that's wise. You got to listen to this. You got to be able to submit to who you're called to follow. Even when you don't like it, do y'all really think that David was trying to really respect, honor, and follow Saul? There was some times that was hard to do. He trying to kill me. What? But he still honored the position. He honored the role, which is what made him a great king in the future. And so sometimes it gets hard. When we're dealing with people and relationships, and we're in this industry, it gets hard. I get it. But if your only tool is to escape, is to run, flee, avoid fixing it, self-sabotage, you're going to find yourself chasing the same thing year after year after year after year. You're going to find yourself in cycles, and not be able to understand what's going on. You can't read the label when you're in the jar. You don't you be willing to see. You know, every time I think of this topic, I think about the chosen people being guided out of Egypt. And I think about them halfway. Now, this is not exactly what it said, but pretty much it said, they were like, yo, hold up. Hey, y'all promising milk and honey and all this. We kind of hungry. It's been a long time. You said it was a 2-week journey. We're 40 years in. What's going on? You know what? I think slavery was a little better than this. I think I might have to go back to that because at least they fed us. And it's crazy when we see it. We're like, that's insane. Who would do that to themselves? Who would create so much hardship for themselves and not just complete the task at hand? Can't you see the blessings? But sometimes when you're in the jar, you can't read the label. You got to have counsel. You got to have wisdom. And what I'm seeing in the level that I'm at right now is I'm seeing how dangerous it is to go and chase a financial journey and not first have some wisdom, at least mine wisdom from other people. I mine wisdom from Dr. Jewel, Dr. Kathy, Dr. China. I'm mining this wisdom. And so when you can't do that, man, you got to really be careful, because what good is it to reach your goals and to do all these things and look back? You're going to lose it because of self, because of greed, because of that self-sabotage spirit. And it's, you know, here, let me just be clear. This is not a topic of oh, no, people making different choices. No, this ain't it. Because we are all wise enough to know that they come and they go. And no matter what we are, where we are who we are. That will not change. They will come, they will go, 10,000 on the left, 10,000 on the right. We know that's part of the game. But we're still human. And we still are so intimately tied to people's goals. When someone says, I want to buy my first house, man, I see that for them. I see the house, I see the furniture, I see the backyard, I see the pictures on Instagram, the baby playing in the backyard. I see it, even when they can't. And so when they start to get shaky and do things different and hurt themselves, and I say, hey, friend, I see the house, I see the financial freedom. This ain't part of the plan. And they go, well, maybe she just don't want me to win away from her. Understand, I know that that's part of the game. You will win away from me, with me, all types of ways. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, hey, you're inside the jar. I'm reading the label, and I just want to let you know, maybe you should do different. And it's really it is heartbreaking. It's one of the things in network marketing. You got to be willing to sustain the heartbreak for people who just do not have the fortitude to complete their own dreams. And it stinks. It stinks because I see great people sell themselves short, and I cry for them. I hurt for them. Because every time I have someone in my organization, if they tell me something they want, I put it in my notes. Man, this is Sakina Abdul-Jalil. She wants to be $1 million woman. She wants her home, her cars, her children's home, her grandchildren's home paid off. She wants the books and the courses. She wants that, and I see it, and I see it. But if she starts moving in a way that is not in her own benefit, and I say, hey, friend, hey, remember this? She has a choice to go, you know what? Thank you for having my back. Or she has a choice to go, you just don't want me to win. It's crazy. It's crazy what people will allow themselves to believe. And the hard part of network marketing, you guys, is that every eye, we have to see people with two eyes. We got to see them as they're the one. They are the one. And then we also see them as they're going to quit tomorrow. And it hurts because you get so intimately tied into their dreams. I think I want people to make more money more than they want to make money.
This is the thing, Wanda. I dealt with this. I went out. We did an event in Houston. Big shouts out to Kawana. I see her on here. She did an amazing job, and I realized in that moment, I believe that I wanted for them so badly, and I know that they can get it. I know that they can win, and I know that they're on track. And I believe that as visionaries, sometimes we get so connected to the vision and knowing that they can get it done. But when people are new to this industry, they don't even realize a year in, you still in your freshman year in school, let alone making some money inside of the industry that you went to school for, right? And so I believe that's a part of the thing that happens. And what I'm working to do is to immediately disconnect from that vision, allow them to do whatever they feel is best for them to go through that learning process and keep moving, because the truth is this grown men and women out here, they got to make their own decision. And some of them don't know, which is why you have so many people. Well, it's my second time coming back, my third time coming back. Sis, I hope you learn now, because we still here. The only reason you're able to come back is because we still here. And the only reason that sometimes you're not where you at, because they don't even exist anymore. I cannot tell you the name of the second. I know the first name of the first company. I just remembered it. But the first company, we was the smallest that we've ever been. So they seem big. And if we're honest, Jewel, remember, we was like, hold up, shoot, that look good. Shoot. But thank God for Holy Spirit, though. Thank God for Holy Spirit, though. Thank God for Holy Spirit, though, because when you got a real relationship for real, there are certain moves that only time is going to tell that you really heard who you say you heard. Now, if you heard who you say you heard, then when time comes, not that lessons are not learned along the way, but when time comes, you don't have to go back and eat those words. Right? And so the second company, I couldn't tell you who they was. The third company, I couldn't tell you who they was. The fourth company this year, the first one, I don't even hear nothing about them no more. They just knocking each other out the park, scrambling. No shade, but honesty. And there's nothing wrong with somebody venturing out. I believe what we have is such an amazing space. There's 7 billion people in the world, but I'm talking about character and how people operate in the midst of character, privately and publicly. So, Jewel, close us out, because you know we all got to roll up out of here. We all on this podcast. Love y'all.
You know what, though? I'm so glad, China, that, you know, we were having our conversation, me, you, and Wanda, the other day, and you know, that it was such a good conversation that we wanted to bring it, because I know I've learned so much about building a multiple $million-dollar, you know, empire independent of my husband. Thank God for his grace. But it was through conversations. You know, some stuff I just honestly did not know, right? There were things I was just not clear about. And so, Wanda, I think you mentioned this. This is why you need to have wealth advisors, right? I spent an hour on the phone, me and Camille, with our wealth advisor firm that I had to bring on, because, you know, we're moving a new level. So we've had to totally restructure, right? I'm spending a couple hours at the bank where before I could go in the bank, in and out. China, you sent me a receipt yesterday. I'm so proud of you on what you've been able to build. And so you need to have these kind of conversations with people that have more than you, and, you know, not be so easily influenced. And I think that's the thing, you know, Wanda, you said that, like, use wisdom, but unfortunately, people can have a little bit of frill and people just go for it. I always tell people, like, real wealth is not Gucci. It's not Louis Vuitton. It's hard assets. It's digital assets. It's oil. It's gold. It's diamond mines. You know, you need to be talking to people that are moving at a much higher level than you. When you start talking about, I'm about to go over here because that's cheaper. Yeah, but that may not be the best move for you if you're really interested in real wealth, right? So I just want to encourage everybody to, you know, narrow down your financial advisors, like narrow them down. It should be like on one hand. It shouldn't be all these people that you just follow anybody, anywhere, right? Talks about narrow is the way. So I just want to encourage you guys that, you know, those of you that are on the team, we love you so much. You're definitely at the right place at the right time. For those of you that, you know, are just watching, I want to encourage you, get on, you know, sayyestoforex.com and say, you know what, I want to join this movement. I want to be with real women that really love God, really love people. We're not perfect, but we're growing together. We're learning together. We're having a lot of fun doing it. You know, becoming wealthy should be fun and easy. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to be committed.
Wow, that was so good. I just want to say this to anybody who may be going through a transition in life and business and they just don't know what they don't know. Don't make a final decision on something that you may have to come back to. I'm hearing people for intentionally tell people how they should make these moves. Meanwhile, they didn't make those moves that way. Right, Wanda? You said something the other day. You better not cancel don't you cancel that mug out where you lock yourself out of all the volume that's for number one has been built under you, because that's
Right.
just not wisdom for number one. For number two, don't do anything that will cause you not to actually be welcome back over here. Because if you're really as bad as you say you are, why don't you go build it from scratch?
Hey
If you
guys,
really
I got some construction going. It's probably super loud. I love y'all. This was
We
good.
love you. Thank you. We see you soon, sis. If you really as bad as you say you are, go build it. Go do what it really takes to do it. Because we know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? He comes to lie and deceive. He comes to do all of that. So check your character and what you think you build. You ain't got to worry about me doing something that don't align with who I'm connected to. That part right there, you know when it ain't of God. You can't put God in it on your post and think that that's going to make what you did okay. So don't be fooled by people telling you to cancel out or to lock yourself out of something, and then when they come back, you are forced to have to figure something else out because you followed behind something and you didn't realize what you was following. Talk on that and then we wrap it out.
You know what? Wealthy people do not burn bridges. Wealthy people understand that true wealth is in relationships. The only thing residual for real is your relationships. So handle them lightly. Do not be quick this is all biblical. Don't be quick to get angry. Don't be quick to burn bridges. True wealth doesn't burn bridges. It's a relationship business. How you treat people, how you operate, how you move, your word, all that is really what builds your wealth in the industry like this. And
Yeah.
so be wise and understand that I'm all for exploring what's for you. I'm all for go figure out what your family needs. But if it requires you to burn bridges, to hurt people, to lie, to be manipulative, then you got to understand that's a certain spirit, and that ain't the spirit of wealth. You got we need to be reading Laws of Success, Napoleon Hill. Somebody's gonna get rich off reading that book. And it has all these lessons in it. But one of the biggest lessons that I learned from it was I gotta honor the path that I've been placed. This is not by accident. I gotta learn the lessons that I'm supposed to learn right here. And if I always run when things get hard, I'm gonna be running the rest of my life. So I just want to encourage people to understand that in everything you do, this is a physical world. This is a physical business. These are physical relationships. Honor your relationships. Move with integrity. I have people that'll call me sometimes trying to and say, Wanda, I want to try something else. And they operate the right way. They do it in a living spirit. We pray together. I give them some advice on what to look for, what to be aware of, and people try things. And if those things don't work, we've done the work together. The maturity has been there for us to say, I got you. You operated in a wealth spirit. You didn't do anything to destroy anyone else's business. You are more than welcome to slide right back in. We will just pretend none of that ever happened. And in the entire time, their business was never in jeopardy. Their credibility was never in jeopardy because of the way that they move. And so move in an honorable way. You will have an honorable and sustainable businesses. If you got to be sneaky and manipulative and hurt people, then you got to really pause and say, what am I doing? What is this really about? Because nothing good is going to require you to operate that way. From day one, I just got to put this out there. I'm part of a company that even when I joined China, I joined, like you said, I don't know. I hope. I like this. I like that. Let's see. And now that I'm here and it's been 2 years and I've watched what this has become, I understand that 3 years ago, nobody was talking about Forex. Nobody was talking about Bitcoin except the people here.
Oh,
nobody. Y'all can say what you want. Nobody was talking about it except the people here. Your favorite trader on Instagram got trained by Chris Terry. Your favorite little side company that's only $20 a month, they got trained by Chris Terry. So you know what? At the end of the day, we are going to be abundant in mindset. We understand there's a lot of money to be made and it's beautiful. I don't mind whatever someone feels is for them. But if I can just remind them, Every other company got to call Chris Terry daddy because he was the founder of all of this.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me share this. Not only do they have to call him daddy because you're so right about that. And I thank God once again for wisdom because like you said, Wanda, I didn't know what the heck we were stepping into. And God connected me to this man's vision. So you ain't got to never worry about no shady, underhanded, no. I'm not going to even get into relationship with people that have an agenda against the vision that God connected me to. Did you hear what I said? Right. I'm not getting even, listen, I don't mean no harm, but I'm from New Orleans and we rock a certain way and it's called being solid. Right. So what solid means to me is I don't have to have nothing against you, but if you are against in any way slightly or boldly against the vision that God connected me to, I disconnect immediately. Ain't no question asked, ain't no gray areas, ain't no feelings in between because I'm clear on my assignment. I'm clear on who God connected me to. 4.5 years ago, I didn't know what the heck was going on either. I questioned God on it. Like, God, are you sure? Because I don't do stuff like that. And God was throwing me into the future, throwing me into a time where people were going to need this. He knew a pandemic was coming. He knew that he was going to need women that people could relate to pull them into a safe haven with a real vision to impact nations and generations around the world, and wasn't going to just leave them and wasn't going to just jump on fad after fad or trend after trend, but that was going to be loyal, solid, and committed. And I don't just mean loyal to a particular person. I'm talking about being loyal to the vision of God. I'm talking about being loyal to his mission. I'm talking about when God told me to come here, I'm not moving unless he said time is up. Period. And those things got to align. So I wanted to share this as we, like you said, listen, everybody else got to call Christopher Terry daddy, right? You can't curse the same thing you said was a blessing. You can't curse it and you can't curse the blessing.
It's crazy.
Right? So we got to pop this up real quick, baby. Number one on business from home. With the hold up, don't play with me. What we talking about? How big you want to win? How big do you want to win? And do you have what it takes to win big? Do you have what it takes to win big? Do you have what it takes to win big inside of this space? Because it's going to take tenacity. It's not going to be easy, especially if you want to go big, especially if you want to go far, especially in the next year, 2, 3, 5 years, you still want to be relevant. Then guess what? It is going to take for you to be consistent and build what you need. Don't burn no relationships of people who've been silent and you new into this space and you got tricked real quick with some people that's just full of nonsense. Like, honestly, a person could decide to do whatever they want to do, but check your character along the way. Check your character along the way. Don't think people don't see what you don't say. People watch more what you do than what you say. It's cute for the post. It's cute for social media, but your actions don't really line up, sis. Like your actions don't really line up, sis. I hear what you saying. And for those believers, you bring the Holy Spirit in for your own consciousness. But if you still in wanting to kill and wanting to destroy, how is it? Now, I could be stating facts to let you know business trends and say, hey, guys, this is what it usually look like. They usually have about a 6 to 8 month run, not because they're not attempting to do something, but as it relates to what's required in this financial industry, I would say at least 100 million you really need, because you're dealing with not just processes, but you're dealing with a lot of government regulators, and the world is changing. So they got to be deep in your pockets. So enough for you to actually really scale up, you can't be talking about making life-changing decisions with something that's in a beta testing in a world like this. They're letting you know right now, we're attempting at something that we hope. That's what beta means. My stuff went through a beta testing on the back end. I'm not having people make life-changing decisions off of beta testing, because that means that we're in beta testing. We're working out kinks, but you got to know about business to understand that. We're number one for a reason.
Absolutely. Sustainable. 300,000 customers globally. We are the largest. We have more services. There's a reason. I hope somebody picked up what China said. It's way too deep to even talk about. If you guys think that people can just start companies and a couple hundred people and that's how it works, you have no idea what it takes in the background. It takes decades in the hundreds of millions of in the back questions. We just don't ask enough questions. Can I just encourage you to ask some questions? Just ask some questions. Ask questions, you guys. You know, I think the whole Tinder culture has gotten to us. So you like now people pick mates by going left or right. And so they're making those quick decisions with big life moments. And that's just not what you want to do. You don't want to be the person that is just so easily pivoted in the next direction, because you will forever be the one leveraged and never be the one leveraging. And so if you want to be the one leveraging, you need to start asking the right questions. I love what we've been able to do. Honestly, every time I see a new something, and I ask the questions, I go, oh, so it was a P2, P5 that used to be here that started that. Okay, cool, great. I'm all about innovation. Go do your thing. I had to learn that wealthy people are comfortable making other people rich. So I'm comfortable making other people away from me, but I still want my people to ask the right questions. Ask some questions, guys. Don't be the person that's scared to say, who owns it? What's their net worth? Can I Google that? What's their net worth? How are they living? They're asking to go on a journey with them. Can they sustain their own family before they promise to sustain mine? This is so much deeper, you guys, than just clicking a link and signing up with a friend. You got to start asking some questions. When I got started in this company, the first thing I did was get on an airplane, go straight to Vegas, and meet Christopher Terry eyeball to eyeball to ask some direct questions. Our lunch turned into a 4.5, 5-hour session because I was asking questions. So you have the same authority to do that. And if someone is telling you, just lock a spot, not all spots are good spots. Be careful about that language. You got to have that other side of you really listening. You got to understand that there is like you said, Dr. China, you start listening with the spiritual ears. It's such a thing. And here's the thing: something that good, all the spots should be good. The spot today, the spot tomorrow, all the spots should be good. So the only thing someone can offer you is fear of missing out and urgency, cheaper, easier, faster. I mean, all that language right there. Y'all should hear that and go, ooh. So, Dr. China, I appreciate you so much. I learn so much from you every time we have a conversation. And it just, I say this publicly. Dr. China, Dr. Jewel have permission every day of the week to hit this phone and say, hey, what are you doing? Hey, that's not it. Hey, let's fix that. Let's clean that up a little bit. Hey, they have permission to do that, because I understand that wealth has humility, and that it's willing to listen, and it's forever being coached. The day you stop being coached, you're done. You cannot make no more money. You can only make as much money as you allow yourself to grow to. And so I'm grateful for a sisterhood that can say, and that ain't it, my love, this way, that way. I'm grateful. And I'm also grateful that I learned how to have that heart, how to have that mindset, and not be so sensitive and have such an ego and swear everybody's out to get me, that I stopped learning. Because when you stop learning is when you stop earning. We're talking about having $1 million a month conversations. Yes, it's gotta be different. Appreciate you, Dr. China. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too, sis. And I just want to say, y'all, we got seats over here. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. There's certain people that I'm not interested in sitting with, but there's certain rooms that I don't want to be left out. I want to say publicly, thank you to Christopher Terry. Thank you for being a visionary. Thank you for having 30 years of experience inside of this space in bringing Wall Street to Main Street, because I know what we're doing is helping people around the world, and it's becoming more popular in our communities. And I am grateful that even when I didn't understand, I got involved. But I want to make sure that people know that not all Forex is created equally. Okay, it doesn't mean the same thing. And we got to make sure that we are building generational wealth, generational legacies. And we're doing it in a way that's going to make sure that when we're no more here, that people still have access to this, even when we expire. That's what generational means. Okay, so Wanda, I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm excited. Y'all get in position right now. The money that's being made, we need to talk about that. Houses that are being bought, the cars that are being bought, the lifestyle changes that are happening because people applied themselves and took the knowledge and really got what they needed to get. It is absolutely amazing. So Wanda, God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on, guys. This is Talk with the Rich right here, baby. Lunch money. Thank you again, Wanda. God bless you guys. And we will see you soon. Bye for now.